have to all right, I am here with Tammy Brown, and I'm so proud of you, Tammy, because you came in Prophetic Pips and you had a determination, you had a mindset that this is something that you wanted to learn. And of course, there are a lot of options out there. You could have gone with a company that would, of course, have you charged a monthly fee. You could have gone with a company that maybe, you have to do affiliate marketing for, getting people to join in order to kind of win by it. What made you consider coming to Prophetic Pips Academy? Like, tell me, what was the initial?
Well, sorry. Well, honestly, the fact that I know you,
of course,
and I know who you are as a person, watching you grow up, seeing the integrity you have, seeing the way you are with your wife and your kids. You're always ambitious. You always on your hustle. You're always trying to find the next thing to build yourself up, improve yourself, improve your family, improve your wealth and your financial situation. So all of those things, when you approached me with it, I already knew if you were doing it and if you were now telling someone about it, that's because you saw for yourself it was something of value. And that is what made me decide to get into it with you and take that first course, that introductory course you showed us to see what it was all about. I knew it would be something that was valuable.
And then when you came on board finally, what was your impression of the system that we have, the way the courses are laid out? What was your impression of Prophetic Pips Academy, especially being someone that never traded, because you've never traded Forex, you only heard about it, never traded it, didn't, had a little bit of understanding based on the introductory course, but how was it as a newbie coming in, and was it, something that was lending to a new person like yourself understanding everything?
Yeah. When you first hit me up and told me that you were doing the introductory course and if I would be able to join, I was apprehensive because I was like, I'm not a trader. I don't have the Series 7. I don't know anything about it. You would sometimes see the charts like on the news and I'd just be like, okay, you have to be a mathematician to, be a trader and all that stuff. So when we did that first sit down with you, that first introductory course, it like deleted a lot of myths that I had about it. What you showed us, it was like clear, it was precise, it took a lot of the fear out of approaching the market or even getting into it. It made me feel like, oh, this is something that I could do. It is something I could learn. And even with the first introductory meeting that we had on it, the way you started to lay it out, it was like just the basic stuff. And then you added a little bit onto that. And then you added a little bit onto that. So it wasn't like, it was very, I want to say cohesive, but just like a well laid out school plan. It's like you got your foundation, which you needed to know, which you needed to understand. What is Forex, why it operates the way it operates, why we're going to do what we're going to do. It's like you gave us the individual ingredients and made sure we understood what each one was, why it was, what it did, before you like put the whole cake together.
So what did you find the courses to be once you stepped in, understood it, and say, you know what, I want to start investing in the foreign exchange, into the currency markets? Of course, currency markets are like stocks, and you have a lot of wealthy people that decide, you know what, we want to expand our portfolios by investing in stocks and bonds and all of that stuff. And most people overlook the currency market, even though it's a $5.3 trillion a day, one of the most liquid markets, even more liquid than the stock exchange. This currency market is just phenomenal. But once you did decide, okay, I want to invest in the currency markets, and you took the courses, the advanced and the basic courses, how did you find those courses to kind of be? Were they palatable? Like, was they easy to understand? Did you like the setup? Tell us a little bit.
I like the setup. Like I said, it everything builds on the base lessons. And the way, like, you have the videos, and you did it like step by step. It's like, for example, the first phase is the contraction, expansion, and trend. The time zones. You made sure we understood this is the first step. You
Right.
know this. Then this is the second step. And then even within that first step is like you made sure we understood like what a pip was, what Forex was, what equity was, what margins were. You made sure we knew the vocabulary. So even as you talked in the lessons and you would say what you have to say, we understood what you were talking about. It wasn't like you just went in telling us stuff and then we're like, well, what is a pip?
Right.
What's a margin call? It's like you made sure we knew the terminology, the base information. For myself personally, I love the way the course is set up because let me show you.
Yeah.
This is all my notes. I
Wow.
took the class.
Wow.
And I was able to, like, if you could see, it's like little tabs.
See a tab.
So it's like charts, imbalances, pips,
Everything.
market cycle. It's like everything. And I just like sat down, I took the time. I even
Wow.
have like, some of my own little candles and stuff, like with the order blocks and everything.
Wow.
Recreate them, added notes from what you said in the videos. So you go step by step. And with the videos, you're able to watch it 2 and 3 and 4 times until you understand the concepts. You could like rewind it 3, 4 times if you just need to hear what you said over and over again to make sure you understand what you were talking about. And
So,
that's actually what I did.
awesome. So you now a part of a trading community though when it comes to prophetic pips. So it's not like you in it on your own. And then
No.
besides that, with the lessons, we make sure that our students are able to understand that if they're doing it right or wrong, because we have assignments that you guys would have turned in, we
Right.
check it, and all of that stuff. So it's not like you just got a course and you know how some people just, you buy it and you just leave them alone. Like, it's
No.
not like that, is it?
No, it's constant feedback. Like even with the charts, we mark up our charts. This is the proper term for it. We mark up our charts. We put them in the group. You're able to comment on it. Even other students in the group, they're able to look at it, comment on it. If they have any tips, they could let us know. If they agree with it, they could let us know. Some of the other traders, they've even been able to use the charts to put in their own trades. It's a very responsive community. Everybody gets along. Everybody knows we're here to learn, and everybody's very helpful.
Awesome. And when it comes to trading now, one of the things that I like that you told me and off the camera was that you were able to literally get to the place where you had to make up your mind that in this community, you saw people just killing it, right? You saw people killing it. It was like that thing. Tell me about that kind of experience, especially being new and wanting to get this. And, you seeing people post profits and all of these different things. Like, what kind of mindset did you have to have then coming into it, understanding that, hey, I need to learn about investing. I need to learn about the Forex markets. And I can see that I have the information, but tell us about that experience.
Yeah, because when I first started, like I've never traded before, knew nothing about the Forex market. And so when I came into it, it's like we did all the lessons. And then when our last lesson, actual like lecture time, video time was done, I knew that I still needed to go over everything. So I had made up my mind that, okay, I was going to watch these videos again and again until I knew everything. And that's how come I went into making my notes. And I would be in the group and I would see people, like you say, posting their profits and where they're at and what they're doing. And I would get that fear of missing out vibe.
Yeah, that FOMO.
Yeah, I'd be like, well, what the hell? What's wrong with me? Why don't I know this yet? I'm not moving fast enough. And I had to talk myself off of that ledge and let myself understand I am exactly where I am. The only way I'm going to get to where all these other traders are who are killing it is to understand the material. So it even got to a point where it's like sometimes I wouldn't check the group messages every single day. I would stay away from it so that I could keep myself centered and focus on the lessons. And in no time, I got to the point where I felt like, oh, I know that. Oh, I know that. Oh, I understand that. Oh, I understand that. And then from that point, because I did have a bit of a fear of going to the charts and trying to mark up the charts. And then like this past weekend, I decided come hell or high water, I need to mark up my charts, because every time I picked my notes back up and I'd read, I'd be like, but you know this, you understand this now, you put the time in.
Yes.
And so I made myself mark up my charts. And then, you know, I sent them to you.
Right. So
and I was like, I just waiting. I was just waiting for you to come back and be like, no, you didn't this and you didn't that. And when you came back and told me that I got it, I was like, I could not have been happier, because I was like, okay, it was like proof to myself that putting in the time, going over the lessons, watching the videos 3 and 4 times, going over my notes did pay off. And I was very happy that I stayed away from getting consumed with that fear of missing out and just jumping on the charts and trying to like do it by trial and error, because I do feel like practice makes perfect, but you have to be practicing the right thing. And for me, like even today, my first day going on the charts, it was an emotional rush. And you know, when you are caught up in your emotions and you learn something, that really reinforces the memory. So for me, I'm happy I didn't do that before I was at this point, because I might have gone to the charts, do something that was wrong, and because I'm in my emotions, that forms now a memory or something that I then needed to work harder to get rid of, to put the correct information in.
Psychology, even the psychology is even there. And in our trading, in our course, we actually have a whole session on trading psychology.
Trading psychology, yes.
So awesome. And this is your chart, Tammy. It's showing on the screen. And so people can see your GBP, JPY chart, your before and your after. How did you feel knowing that people were able to make, even myself, because you know, I told you, I say, man, Tammy, I don't have to mark up a chart this week.
Yeah, you did.
JPY, like I don't have to mark up my chart, because when you shared this, it was so on point, based on just applying the lessons. And I mean, people see me flooding my timeline and stuff like that with all of my tip counts. To see how much money, first of all, because you know, I showed you personally my money, and a lot of people, you know, they got to know that this is profitable, right?
It's beyond profitable.
So to see that people made this amount of pips off of your chart, this was done before. When did you mark this up?
Either Sunday night or Monday night.
Okay.
That was Sunday night before the markets were opening.
But yet you was able to predict this movement almost to the pip, right?
Yeah.
And you got that all from the lessons that you learned in Prophetic Pips Academy.
All from the lessons in Prophetic Pips.
And you didn't just do one chart. So it wasn't like a one-hit wonder, or this was like just coincidence, or it was luck. You did 2 charts, and both of those charts were pretty much almost to the T on point.
Yeah.
It is that you marked up, and it was just amazing to see that. All right, well, awesome stuff. So listen, one last thing now. How does it feel not to have to take signals? Because, you know, a lot of people say, oh, well, I want someone to give me the signals. Aren't you glad that we are not just going to enable a community of traders that just want somebody to give them the signals? We want to empower people. And so how does it feel to be empowered that, hey, even if you decided you want to take a signal from somebody, you're able to go to these charts and do what?
Yeah. I prefer being taught the way you taught. I don't like the concept of just getting a signal, because what happens one day if you're not around to give me the signal? Then what do I do? Exactly. I definitely feel like learning the skill the way we've learned it is the best thing, because even if someone gives me a signal, even if somebody sends me a chart, I am putting my hard-earned money into this investment. I need to be able to look at the chart for myself and see whether or not it makes sense, and it makes sense for me before I go and invest my money, because I could very easily lose $1, $2, hundreds of dollars. You never know how much money I'm thinking to put in this, invest in this, what I want my return to be. So I really prefer to have the skill, and I think anybody who's doing this should make sure they have the skill themselves, instead of just looking for someone for a signal, because what you're going to be able to eat and support yourself as long as someone can give you a signal, but if something happens to them, they're out of the picture. You can't, fish for yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. You need, this is a skill you should have. And I was like, where has Forex been all my life? And then I had to change it to be like, why haven't I been in Forex all my life? It's definitely a skill I feel like everyone should have.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing with people, and with us, and letting us know your experience. And man, you killing these charts. And so
it's awesome.
One last encouragement to the folks. Like, if you could tell somebody about Prophetic Pips, like just sum it up maybe in 4 sentences the most. If you could tell somebody about Prophetic Pips, what would you say to them?
Definitely join, definitely do it. Like I said, I never traded before. My first class was May 2nd. It's August 25th. That's 3 months?
Oh.
And in 3 months, I was able to write up my charts, know how to put in an investment. It's well worth it. If there is another program that could do it in less than 3 months, I would be amazed. And like I said, once you spend time with the information you gave us, the way you gave it to us, I don't see why another person wouldn't be able to duplicate what I did. It's simply a matter of spending time with the lessons. And like, I've never traded before, never. And I was able to get this, so definitely do it. And I know that's like more than a few minutes, but
that's
yeah,
good.
this is spot on. I would do this again and again and again with what I've learned and what I know now and what I see as possible.
Awesome. And I just want everybody to know that we have got one of the most, I'm not saying it's the most, I'm saying we've got one of the most accurate strategies in the markets. I've got traders from around the world trying to figure out, hey, how do you guys get the market so accurate? And Tammy isn't the only one. We've got other students in the community that are snipers on these charts, you know what I mean? And just today, Tammy, you could see that we had people put in their charts in the groups there befores and afters, and we were celebrating.
Yeah.
We were celebrating.
Yes, we were.
Because it ain't just one person that getting it. It's like we got students that coming in and killing this thing. And so, man, listen, guys, we want to help you guys out. Tammy doesn't pay a monthly fee. That's unsustainable. It was a one-time, and she has access for lifetime.
Exactly.
And then also, she doesn't have to worry about getting friends and family to sign up. So, she
no pressure to do any of that.
No pressure. And so, we have a referral program that if anyone want to share and they want to get compensated for it, fine. But we don't major on that. We major on trading education, pure trading education. And so if you want to join Prophetic Pips, hit us up, www.propheticpipsacademy.com. Tammy, I'd love to have you on board the team.
Love being a part of Prophetic Pips. I mean, trust me. Anyone who does this, if you're sorry at the end of the day, that means you did not watch the videos, you did not put the time in. Anyone who puts the time in, watches the videos, trust me, you'll be smiling, you'll be happy, you'll be like, what was I doing before?
Exactly.
Trust me.
Well, thank you guys.
Worth it.
Yeah. And thank you, Tammy, man. We appreciate you. You killing these charts. Keep snipering it out.
All right.
I think now you are an investor in the currency exchange markets, and you're doing your thing. And you're empowered. Now, no one got to give you fish. You actually know how to fish for yourself. And
exactly.
Dwayne, like you say, and I want to repeat that because this is bearing repeating, because everyone is so, gung-ho on, someone giving me a signal and I can just type that in on my MT4 and they excited about that. But like you said a key thing. What if something happened to your signal provider? Also, a lot of times people like to keep you dependent on them so that you would always need them. And
Right.
I believe that we should be liberated to make our own decisions, that we could, kind of be in
Control your own
control,
destiny.
yeah, of our own destiny, especially when it comes to finances and empowerment, self-empowerment. And you guys can leave Prophetic Pips anytime you want without being worried about whether I'm there to give you a signal or not. Literally, you could just go, you could do whatever you want now. And you can
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
So thank you, Tammy. Thank you, guys. That was one of our students, and we've got more students that we'll interview. But for right now, this is one of our MVPs, the rookie.
So if you feel say you song this, check it Rolex, cause a Forex money man a transit. No, me no joke, lad. Forex money when me touch yard. Y'all want left and me no ball. Only thing me care about a stop loss. Me no watch people, me watch it chat. 100 million at the pot. Forex money for me thought.